myself. I am Sartika S from English Education B 2019. In this my video, I will explain you about English for Specific Purpose (ESP) and the scope, whether it's the origins of ESP, development of ESP, language descriptions, theories of learning, needs analysis, and a processes the course designs. So, English for Specific Purpose (ESP) is a subset of English as a second or foreign language. It usually refers to teaching the English language to university students or people already in employment, with reference to the particular vocabulary and skill they need. Okay, the first discussion is the origins of ESP. The origin of ESP is seen from three main reasons, namely, number one, the domains of a brave new word. This happened because of the activity of exchange goods and services after the Second World War. English is the key to the circulations of technology in international trade. Knowledge of English is generally considered a prerequisite for good education. Number two, revolutions in linguistics. Traditionally, the aim of linguists is to describe the rules of using English, namely grammar. The language spoken and written will vary, and in a number of different ways from one context to the other. Number three, focus on the learner. Students have different needs and interests, which will have an important influence on their motivation to learn a language and its effectiveness so that they learn faster and better. Okay, the second discussion is development of ESP. In its development, ESP has 5 phases, including number 1, register analysis. This stage began in the 1960s and early 1970s and focused on language and its use. Number 2, analysis of rhetoric or scientific discourse. This stage teaches students to be more familiar with textual patterns and the assessment of the discourse itself. Number 3, analysis of the target situations. The target situations analysis is defined as a goal in terms of communicative syllabus designs. And number 4, ability and strategy. This stage is an experiment to not only look at the language but also the basic language users. And number 5, learning centered approach. This stage relies on the descriptions and use of language. Okay. The third discussion is language descriptions. We can identify various ideas about language that affect ESP with 6 main points from its development, that is, number 1, classical or traditional grammar. The use of English with other language is based on the grammar of the classical language, namely Greek and Latin. This description is based on an analysis of the roles played by each word in the sentence. And number 2, structural linguistics. Describing terms from syntagmatic language, grammar that carries the main prepositions. Number three, transformational generations grammar. Chomsky states that there are two things that affect teachings, namely language affects rules, and there is a relationship between meaning and form. Number 5, language variations and register analysis. The language is different, but is the same goal. However, different presentations were analyzed with different variations. Number 5, functional or notional grammar. Functional concerns social behavior and represents the goals of the speaker or writer, while notion or idea reflects the way they exist in the human mind. Number 6, discourse rhetorical analysis. The meaning in a sentence can be the same but in a different context. The context of the sentence is also important to form the meaning. There are 6 learning theories in ESP, namely, number 1, behaviorism. Learning as habit formations. Learning is a mechanical process of habit formation and results by means of repeated reinforcement of a stimulus-response sequence. Number 2, mentalism. Thinking as rule governance activities. Learning is not just a habitual form but a learning rule, a process by which individual experiences are used with thought to formulate tentative hypotheses or conjectures. Number 3, cognitive coding. Learners as thinking beings. Students will learn when they are actively thinking about what they are learning. Number 4, the affective factors. Learners as emotional beings. Emotional reactions to learned experience are the basic foundations for the initiations of cognitive processes. Number 5, learning and acquisitions. Learning is seen as a conscious process, whereas proficiency takes place unconsciously. Number 6, a model for learning. A learning model will provide a practical resource or reference for ESP teachers and course designers. There are 2 things that distinguish General English from ESP, namely, General English requirement cannot be determined, and awareness of target situations need to be communicated in English. There are 4 aspects that need to be considered in the needs analysis, namely, number 1, analysis of target needs. Number 2, gather information about target needs. Number 3, analysis of learning needs. Number 4, analyze learning needs. Course design is the process by which raw data about learning needs are interpreted to produce multiple interpretations of learning experience data. There are three models of approaches to designing course designs, namely, number 1, language-centered course designs aims to illustrate the direct relationships between the target situations analysis and the context of the ESP. And number 2, skills-oriented course designs formed into basic principles, namely the basic hypothesis underscores some language habits and pragmatic basic. And finally, learning-centric approach. Learning is seen as a process by which learners use their existing knowledge or skills to create a sense of new information flow. Well, I think that's all my explanation about English for specific purpose, and my conclusions that the English for specific purpose has emerged as a significant field in applied linguistics. It is mostly concerned with the learner's needs for a specific fields of academic or occupations. So, this is the end of this my video. I'm Sartika S. Thank you very much for watching this video. See you in the next video. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.